Hey everybody, I hope you are doing great. Today what I wanted to do was do a Gibson Custom Shop video for you. For those of you who don't know or who are new to this channel, I am here at Chicago Music Exchange. I sell guitars at Chicago Music Exchange, which actually I'm glad I brought that up because I've received quite a few messages regarding pricing and if someone could get pricing from me. Yes, you can absolutely get pricing from me. That's kind of what I'm here for. So if any of these are of interest to you, or if anything in the shop is of interest to you, it doesn't have to be Gibson, PRS, Fender, whatever it is. I like to help my friends out, especially those who are supporting the channel. So just let me know. But one of the things that we do here at Chicago Music Exchange that is very unique to us, some other dealers do it, but we go hard in the paint when it comes to this, is that we go to Nashville, specifically to Gibson Custom Shop, and we hand pick woods for our Les Pauls. We design really cool SGs, Explorers. We really try to offer something that is classic, but unique and hasn't existed in the wild before, or just find really great tops, which is what we all want. So that's a big part of our process. These four guitars are some pretty cool examples, with the exception of this, which is, I'll get to it, we didn't do this one. So the first guitar that I want to talk to you all about is one of my absolute favorites. I am blown away. Look at that. What? I am blown away with how this guitar came out. So here's what happened. I was down with one of my coworkers in Nashville, and they had some torrefied maple tops. Torrefied means that the wood is baked, and the reason that you do that is you're extracting moisture content, but also the sugar content from the wood, which makes it lighter, but it also makes it more resonant. The whole idea, really, my understanding is that Ernie Ball Music Man are the folks that started this whole idea. But what you're doing, trying to remove moisture, sugar content, that stabilizes the wood, prevents, any issues with the wood down the road. But what it also does is it ages the guitar tonally. It adds, decades to the sound of the guitar. You'll see that a lot in the acoustic world. Almost every acoustic builder is torrefying tops in an effort to make their new guitars sound old. Well, this guitar, when we saw the wood, it's kind of brownish. And we weren't sure, how is this gonna look? How's it gonna translate? Because brown and red don't really go together. Even a brown and a green lemon, possibly. There were a couple of things that we were trying to figure out, but we were like, you know what? Let's just roll the dice. We'll see what happens. This is one of my absolute favorite Les Pauls that we have done. So this is a AAA flame maple top that is torrefied. It is CME-spec, meaning that it has our underwound potted Custombuckers for pickups exclusive to us. We tried our best with Gibson to get as close as we could to the mini burst that we have owned throughout the years. Caveat. Nothing will ever be a burst. We all know this. However, you can try to get as close as you can, and this is the closest iteration that we have found. In addition to that, it has a Carmelita neck profile. I've had a lot of questions on this. What is Carmelita? Carmelita is a burst that was once owned or is still owned by Joe Bonamassa, but it had owners before him. But that is a 59 neck carve. But the thing I love and that we all love about that neck profile is that the shoulders of a guitar is from right here, basically the binding to about the middle of the neck, right there, okay? That's your shoulder right there. So this is not a full C shoulder. Instead, it's got a little wear because it was it's been around since 1959, and throughout the years, necks get worn. And what Gibson does is they scan those Les Pauls. They will scan those old necks. Then they will create basically a die or a tool that is a perfect rendition of that neck. In other words, it's a perfect form. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So anyway, the thing about Carmelita that is so sweet is that to me, it feels like a broken-in baseball glove. You can go buy a brand new glove and then you can do all the breaking in, and that's great. It takes a lot of time. But man, it sure is nice to have a broken-in baseball glove. So this, to me, is what that is. To me, this is the neck that everyone can agree on. It's the reason that we put it on almost every 59 Les Paul that we do. This is a factory burst, and as you guys, this is undeniable. This guitar is light. It is resonant as all heck. It has our pickups. It's extraordinarily unique. I have never seen a Torified maple Les Paul ever, and I am so pleased with how it came out. So what I'm gonna do is I will plug all of these in. I'm gonna play some of my sweet shoegaze riffs because, as you all know, I don't shred. But I play guitar the way I play guitar because these are all tools for art, and I create the way I create, the way you create, the way you create. All right, second Les Paul that we have here. This is a really nice, sweet beauty that we just got in as well. Hopefully that top is coming out. Are you getting that? I think so. This is a really pretty one. Really nice top. This too, let me read, I don't have my spectacles on. So this is CME-spec as well. Dirty Lemon Fade VOS. This has the same neck, the Carmelita neck carve, because again, we love it so much, and it does have our pickups. So what I'll do is I will plug this bad boy in so you can hear what it sounds like. But what I really wanted to do is show off that wood. You know, we love Custom Shop. I love everyone who works there. But there's nothing like going down there and just picking your own woods, just sorting it all out, going through it. And I, on my last trip, discovered a secret, which if you watch that video, so this is what I've got so far. I mean, like I've been saying, I mean, there's been one no. I discovered something. I discovered a way to know if it's gonna be a really great one. Here's the thing. You can pick a top, but as you carve down, you may lose ribbon, you lose flame, it could become something different, it could fall out, and that is industry speak for there's a knot in the wood, or the wood, as they started carving, didn't pass their standards, so it fell out of production. But I have found a way to alleviate that as much as possible, and I couldn't be more excited about it because my last trip down there was a month and a half ago or so. I think if you guys watch that video, I picked 74 of the greatest Les Paul tops I've ever seen in my life. Look at that. Best tops, 74 tops picked, and they are all bangers, every single one of them. All right, this is not our creation. This is Greeny, currently owned by Kirk Hammett of that band called Metallica. Now, we've had many of these in, but this one in particular is just really outstanding. I really like to showcase the guitars that we build, but this one is so good. Now, Kirk got a lot of crap because see what he did here? Look at that. He put his initials. Can you see that? Do you see that? If you saw his video with Gibson, he put his initials in it, and a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, how can he do that? Hey man, here's the thing. This is my personal opinion. We don't own these guitars. None of us do. None of us do, because we're all gonna die. We're not here forever. Unless you plan on throwing it in your grave, you're probably gonna sell it, or your kids are gonna sell it, or whatever, your wife or your husband or whatever it is, you know. So I feel like we are just custodians of these instruments, and we kind of rent them in a way. And you know, the fact that he wanted to put his initials on here and kind of memorialize his ownership, I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I think that I think these are tools meant for art, and that's one of the ways he wanted to express. And hey, man, God bless you. But this one, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful top. I mean, just so sweet. Look at that. Really want you guys to see the work that Gibson has done. Look at that. Look at that craftsmanship. I mean, they got everything down, you know, to the nick. You know, you've got, look how they did the break here. Let me see if I can get right there. See how they did the break on the headstock? I'm sure you all saw Kirk's Gibson video. He's done many on this guitar, but I guess at one point this was in the back of a car that got into an accident. It was in a trunk, and just got shattered and destroyed to pieces. So, I mean, the guitar has been through hell, but it still rips, you know, and I just think it's beautiful. So anyway, I wanted to show you that. I'm gonna plug this in and not play nearly as good as Kirk Hammett, but play. Finally, this is actually not one of ours either, so I guess I kind of lied. Two of these are, two of these aren't. This is a Karina Explorer. It is a 58 Karina Explorer, obviously. Gibson did a few reissues of this. They did the Brazilian run. This is not the Brazilian run. This is Indian Rosewood, but it is Korina. And they have some really choice Korina at Custom Shop. Look at this beautiful, beautiful thing. Now let me tell you something about Korina, you guys. Something you may know, something you may not know. If you see a Korina instrument and it looks green, kind of, you're like, why does it look a little green? That's not a good thing, because what that means is that that Korina was cut too early. Green Korina is not good Korina, okay? Korina should look like this. There's no greening here. The only greening happening here is right there. See what I did there? Pretty sweet, huh? It's a beautiful instrument. I love Explorers. I just think they're the sweetest things. So anyway, enough talking. What I'll do, I'll plug these in for you all to briefly hear. And what I'm gonna do is use this Park that we just got in. You guys know that I'm a big fan of these amps. This is a Park Vintage 20. I am not sure of the year, but it is a vintage Park. And then I've got this Park right over here, which is one of my all-time favorites. Pretty much everyone here at the shop loves that one. So, all right, let's plug them in and see what we got. have it, everybody. Hopefully this was cool for you. I love plugging these guitars in, especially through these old amps. They just break up like crazy, and I love it. As I mentioned, we handpick all of the woods for our CME-spec Les Pauls. We are very particular, and over the years of having done this, I feel like we're getting better and better at finding and knowing what the good ones are gonna be. Outside of that though, we carry everything that Gibson has got that we love, such as Greeny, such as Karina Explorers as well. So as I said, if you have any questions about pricing, if you want one of these, my email is in the link there. Just send me an email and I will 100% hook you up. I want to help out my friends, especially those folks who are watching this channel. So until next time, I will see you down the road. Bye.